Sambula Vinaka, and welcome to another episode of Meeting Your MPs. Today we have our Honourable Leader of Opposition, the Honourable Inia Seruiratu. Nisaya Vinaka. So we'll get straight into it. Just firstly, tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you're a military officer, we know you're a pastor. Just how do you juggle between being an MP and all the other works that you have, including being the head of a family?
Thank you. Firstly, I'm Inia Seruiratu, and before coming into Parliament, I have served in the private sector before joining the army. I worked for the Native Land Development Corporation for about 4 years before I joined the army in 1987. I spent about 21 years in the military before joining the civil service as Commissioner Northern and then Permanent Secretary for Rural Development and Disaster Management before I was appointed as Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry initially in 2012 in the interim government. Yes. I attended Ratu School and I am married to Litea. Litea hails from Sangani in the Kondrove, and we have 3 children. Also actively participate in church, not only as a member but as an ordained pastor in the All Nations Christian Fellowship. It's a challenging life, given all these responsibilities that you have, responsibilities in government as a parliamentarian. This is my 3rd term as a parliamentarian. I've served previously as government in the last 2 terms from 2014 and now as the leader of the opposition. And then you have responsibilities as a family. And then you have responsibilities as well, to the communities. I come from a community, and then responsibilities to the church and the wider public at large. When you are here, you are a public good. So it's not only the family and the relatives, not only the church that you belong, but you are here to serve everybody, and that is the challenge that probably every member of parliament goes through.
Right. So where were you brought up? Your siblings, your parents? Can you tell us about them too, please?
Thank you. I mentioned that I am from Kumi village,
yeah.
In the district of Verata in Telebu.
Brought up there too?
Born and bred in the village. I think this is probably a challenge to those that are living in rural areas. It's not the environment that you are brought up in that will determine your destiny, but it's the will, it's the commitment, it's the sacrifice, it's the hard work. So born and bred in the village, and then spent the initial years there before I moved on in terms of education, moving on to Ratu School. I attended primary school in Verata, Winabokoi District School. 3 villages in Verata sort of attend that same school. The villages of Nabunamono, Neburuburu, and Kumi. So I went through that in a rural school as well, and then to Ratu School.
What were some experiences you must have had, maybe in your childhood days or even as a young man, that has helped shape you to your journey today, to where you are today?
I think, when you reflect on life, it's the environment that shapes and molds you to be the person you become. For me, as I've stated previously, born and bred in the village, we all know what the challenges are like in rural villages. I can say that even now things are better. But back then, growing up in a village, it's not simple. not simple. There were no roads. There was no electricity. We have to walk to school. And then the difficulties of surviving daily in a family. School fees and all the other things. It's not easy. Right. Those are the challenges. And not only that, I would also say that youths of today, particularly children, are very fortunate because there are a lot of opportunities now given to them for education, to support their education. Back then, there were remission fees available in secondary schools and you have to apply for it, but now it's free education. And then for higher education, it depends on the number of scholarships available. E2K scholarships with the Fijian Affairs Board back then, and of course PSC scholarships that's available with government. So though it was a challenge as well because I had intentions for further education. I wanted to pursue a career in agricultural engineering because of my latter years at RKS. I did the City and Guilds of London Institute syllabus on agricultural engineering. So the challenge for me then was trying to access funding or sponsorship in terms of scholarship for the education. I applied to do mechanical engineering. There was an offer that came through PSC back then to go and study in Cyprus, but then there was no funding. Was accepted as well in Raikkotiwood College in the UK to go and pursue a degree in agricultural engineering, but there was no scholarship. But fortunately, a few of the RKS students after me were able to secure scholarship. So this is the environment and some of the difficulties that I went through. But, there are better opportunities now for our young children, and I think they need to make the most of it.
Seeing what you went through and knowing what you went through, what you experienced, and being in this parliament today, sir, has that helped you in your role as former minister, even now as leader of opposition, to fight for the children in terms of education?
Definitely. As I've stated, you are shaped by the environment that you are brought up in. And for me particularly, having experienced those difficulties and living through it, and then getting into a boarding school, and then the challenges that we face in terms of socioeconomic challenges and opportunities. And then I would also say in my later years in the military, going to peacekeeping missions, when you see how fortunate we are as compared to the other countries that are badly affected because of crisis, because of war, even in the region. I served in the Solomon Islands. That helps to shape and mold you. And these experiences are very important when you come here because you understand the realities of life. And not only that, when it comes to policy development, you have a lot to contribute, not only through your professional knowledge and technical expertise, but through your personal experiences as well. All these help in the work that I do now as a member of parliament and particularly from the opposition as well, giving that alternative voice, suggestions and opinions to the government who has the right to make decisions. They have a right to govern. But as members of the opposition or government in waiting or the alternative government, we have a right to be heard as well. Right. So we help, and the experiences that you go through help to shape and mold you.
So you were appointed Commissioner Northern, I think the first during the administration of the Bainimarama rulership then. What were some challenges you faced knowing that you came to Vanua level? Development was not as much as what happened in the 16 years, and we know because we both lived there. What were some challenges you faced in terms of development of the North?
I think the good thing that that opportunity provided for me was one, before I came over, I have to do a lot of reading. Some own researches on what's available. There are so many studies, consultations done previously about the 4 geographic divisions, reports like household income and expenditure survey report, poverty reports, alternative livelihoods, and of course there was the Look North policy. I did a lot of reading, and then it's just approaching the job with an open mind. I came with a very open mind when I came to Vanua level. But despite the challenges, I want to focus on the opportunities, because government back then had the Look North policy, and at the same time with the then interim government, there were big plans about more development in Vanua level. So for me, when I look at the challenges, it's not new. It's what most rural Fijians face. But I think the main ones are infrastructure and the utilities. You know, they need good roads, they need communication, they need seaports and airports, although there are some in existence. Connectivity is so important. Water and electricity, plus the socio-economic empowerment of the people. But my passion was in how can I contribute and help the communities, because I see huge opportunities in Vanua level, and this has been a constant statement that you will hear from me: the power of the rural economy. The resources are there, yes, but how do we convert these resources into tangible projects and initiatives that will bring the results? So I learned a lot from that experience, and it helped me as well when I became permanent secretary and then becoming minister, because the setting in Vanua level was something that really gave me that opportunity on how government can do better in terms of policy development and resource allocation to improve the livelihoods and help them contribute better as well and more into the development of the country and into the economy as well.
So from Commissioner Northern, you became PS and then minister. What inspired you to join politics and to stand for the elections?
Well, you know, probably I'll say it's the circumstances, the situation back then. In fact, honestly, I was not focusing on or interested in joining politics during the. I enjoyed the work as a public official, as a civil servant. And that was one of the things that I decided and discussed with my wife as well. After being posted to the Northern Division, after a few months, She was studying in China, and when she came for the Chinese New Year break, I told her that I have no intention of going back to the army. I can contribute better, and I can contribute more to Fiji and the communities in this role. Life is not only about being in the military. I have a home, I have a car, but it's about how you can contribute more to impact the life of others. So I thought that I was going to remain in the civil service. But then when elections was to be held in 2014, the Fiji First Party was formed, and the then leader of government, Prime Minister, and then became leader of Fiji First Party, wanted a few of us who were in the interim government back then to continue with the service, because I was already a minister as from 2012 in around December or later November. So I was already a minister, and he wanted us to continue into politics. That's how I became a politician. But back in my young days, from my mother's family, one of my uncles was a very prominent member of the Alliance Party. He used to campaign a lot for the then Ratu Willy Tonganivalu, and of course under the leadership of the then Turanga Tuneo. So he was actively involved in politics. I also admit the fact that while I was in the Native Land Development Corporation in Nandi, I used to follow politics. Back then, there was a group called the Young Alliance during the Alliance days. So I follow the Young Alliance movement in Nandi under Absaitora, Mick Beddoes. So, but little did I know that one day I will end up in politics. But probably that also has some influence on me. On politics, but you don't perhaps see it's the Lord's plan as well. So here I am as a politician.
So three terms as an MP in Fiji. What are some most challenging and rewarding aspects of your parliamentary work?
The most rewarding, for me, it's not only in politics. I've talked about my experience in the Northern Division, and what led me to decide to not to return to the military barracks and continue as a civil service. The most rewarding thing is the satisfaction that you get out of it when you deliver, when you impact the lives of the people. People are so satisfied and happy when they have clean drinking water, when they have road access. That is one. And the other one is being a voice, being a representative for the people. You hear them, and then you try and work through the machinery that's available to bring them what their needs and expectations are. So that's also a very rewarding thing in the work that we do. And even now, in terms of policy development, we've talked about the experience and the environment that I went through. It's really helpful, because in policy development, you have to identify what the problem is, and then what are the options that are available to address those issues. And then you come up with alternatives and what is the best option out of those alternatives that you have. And I think the most important thing as well is in the formulation of implementation plans and evaluation and monitoring that is important as well. You know, these are all very, very satisfying experiences that you go through when you are raising the issues on behalf of the people, and when you see how the impact of the work that you do has gone down to the communities. That's very, very rewarding and very satisfying.
Right. So your role as an MP from Commissioner Northern, Permanent Secretary, takes up a lot of your time. Has that affected your commitment or your time to the church as a pastor and even to the family?
Challenging, but it's good to be always challenged because it helps you in your personal development, it helps you in your character development, and of course it helps you as well to be a better and stronger and more resilient person. But the good thing is I have a family, and in terms of the family life, there is the wife that does a lot in terms of organizing the family and getting things done in the family. And then in between all those, we have the church commitments as well. It's just a matter of looking at the options, what are the priorities, and how do you manage within all these challenges that you have. And in all this, you know, it's just your decision making and wisdom that God gives you will help you sail through all these challenges.
Why do you think it's important to have many voices, diverse voices represented in Parliament by members?
Yes, we've talked about policy, Sarafina, and one of the key characteristics of good governance is participatory and consensus as well. So when it comes to good governance, it is essential, it is important that the voices of everyone is heard, and that helps government to come up with the best of the options that's available in the alternatives that it has. But what is important is, as I've stated, their participation, and they have to be heard, and then all that is considered equally, and then helps the government to come up with the best policies. Sometimes it's a challenge because it's difficult to satisfy every individual or every community, but then government has that balancing act to consider. And we from the opposition or the alternative government or government in waiting, we help government as well in that regard, because we represent all these diverse voices as well in terms of the various communities within the ethnic groups that we have, the private sector, and our religious organizations. It's important that they be heard and all considered when government is in the process of either bringing in new legislations or coming up with policies.
So what would your advice be to young people who'd like to join the civil service?
You know, first, to all the young people who may be listening, make the most of the opportunity that you have now. Your school days will not come again. But thankful that there are opportunities now like the Matua program that will bring or offer that opportunity if it does come. But make the most of the opportunity that you have now. And secondly, set your goals. Nothing is impossible to achieve. It's just a matter of dedication and commitment. In terms of the civil service, what is important, and I say this from experience as well, you need to identify at a very early stage of your education, while still in school, the career path that you are going to take. I say this because at RKS, when I was almost in the final years at RKS, professional rugby was coming into the choices that you make. So I was very focused on that, wanting to go and play professional rugby in a club in Melbourne, in Australia. So you have to decide early the career path that you wish to take. And that will help you in terms of your subject choices, and then the path that you take in tertiary education as well. I encourage you, as a former civil servant, there's a lot of opportunities in the civil service to develop the potentials that they bring into the workforce. And for that, some become key office holders and leaders when the potentials are developed over the years. So with commitment, with discipline, self-discipline, it will be possible to achieve all those, and they can excel in their civil service career, and aim for the top, and be dedicated to what you do.
So you've served 3 terms, as you mentioned. You will already, your party has been registered as well. What are your hopes for Fiji's future? What do you hope for Fiji, maybe in the 5-10 years' time?
No, we always want a better Fiji, a prosperous Fiji where we live in harmony, and there's equal opportunity for everyone. And this is why the leadership is so important, because it is the government itself that will create that environment for every Fijian. Fiji has a lot of potentials, and we just need to work together as a country, as a people, to build that better Fiji, not for us, but for our children in the years to come. And it's important that we create an environment that will help them to live a better life, and live peacefully and in harmony as well, given the potentials that are here despite the challenges that we go through. A better Fiji for every Fijian is what I always hope for.
So lastly, with the elections around the corner, what would your advice be to those who are aspiring to be politicians like yourself? The terms of their service to the people, what would your advice be to them when they come into the parliament?
What is important is leadership is service. That's the most important thing. Leadership is service. When you come into this work, as I've stated previously, you are a public good, and you are here to serve everyone. And it's not the benefits out of it. It is a rewarding experience. It is a rewarding work. I will not call it a profession, because in here, the votes of the people determine whether you will continue or not. So for those that are aspiring to be politicians, my advice is, one, get connected to the communities, get connected to the people. And not only that, serve the people, listen to them, what are their needs, what are their priorities, what are their concerns,
Yes.
and how would you help to salvage them from the situation that they are in and bring positive results and impact into their lives and into their communities and into their families as well. And most importantly, your personal, professional background is so important as well. Because in here, as a parliamentarian, the four key functions of a parliament, we look at legislations. And our professional background and experience is so important when it comes to making very good laws for the country. Yes. And then we look at resource allocation as well in terms of budgeting. That's a responsibility of government. And representation, I've said this previously as well. We are here to represent the people, and that is why you being connected, you listening, you visiting, and is so important. And then the work of oversight, not only in terms of what's happening in here, but based on what's happening in all the communities, the realities of life in Fiji. You bring that into here and then put things together. So it is a challenging work as a parliamentarian, but it is a very rewarding experience as well when you see that you are doing work not for you, but for the others that you represent. Right. And you represent every Fijian, not only just a particular community. Right.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time today. That brings us to the end of our program this morning.
Naka.
Naka, to all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've completed our program with the Leader of Opposition, Honorable Inia Seruiratu. Naka ni Mwademanda.